on and live. At least I think so. Yeah, everything should work as intended. Good. Welcome. My name is Ike. This is Switzerland Played with Taggin. Go tagging your mom. The angry game news, and as usual, 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. I try to cover interesting topics in gaming and shows and movies. Today is actually a day with more movie and show talk than games because it seems not a lot happened over the weekend in gaming world. Some news will come throughout the day for sure. But for now, we have more show and movie related stuff for once. And we have not a lot in general. Seems to be like a very calm weekend overall. So let's get into it, I guess. Ahoy, ouch, my junk. There in the chat. Okay. Are we good? We're good. Let's start with gaming news, though. A little bit something here. Nintendo and Amazon and their feud. First party Switch 2 games and more are now available. After another long standoff between Nintendo and Amazon, the two sides are finally working together once again. For whatever reason, over the past year or so, it has been impossible to purchase anything sold directly by Nintendo, at least if you're in the United States. That means the Nintendo Switch 2 console itself, recently released and upcoming titles like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, and even new amiibo were unavailable on Amazon. Neither side commented on the situation, leaving fans to wonder why they could purchase or pre-order many of Nintendo's products. Why they couldn't, not why they could. So, yeah, it seems like there was an issue. I never paid attention to that on Amazon. Seems Amazon had a little feud going on with Nintendo, and you couldn't purchase directly from Nintendo for almost a year. But they figured their issues out, and now you can reorder or order finally Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. We're not sure what happened, but the good news is that the feud appears to be over. For the first time in a long time, Nintendo products are appearing on Amazon. That means you can now pre-order Donkey Kong Bonanza, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, and Jamboree TV, and Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, plus Star-Crossed World. Listing also show that Amazon will soon ship the new Sidon, Zelda and Jamie Street Fighter amiibo. Ooh. Seems to be like a big thing for some people. Amiibos. I'm personally, whatever. If you have fun with it, go for it. Buy all the amiibos. This actually isn't the first time that Nintendo and Amazon weren't friendly with each other. Something similar happened during the Nintendo 3DS Wii U era, but hopefully it's the last time. Probably not if it happened already once. After all, we can't imagine Amazon wanting to miss out on the potential revenue it could see with Nintendo Switch 2, given the system's huge success so far. Yeah, speaking of success, we're gonna talk a little bit about that again. I don't know how big the revenue would really be for Nintendo Switch 2 for Amazon, to be honest. It's gonna be a nice chunk, especially probably more about this amiibo stuff, actually. Like physical items instead of games and stuff like that. Because Nintendo seems to go the path of the more digital distributing games way in general. What do you think about this being over? Do you have a Switch 2? Have you finally gotten into the Nintendo fanboy territory more? Or again? Tell me. Tell me. Ouch my junk, how about you? You finally buying Switch 2? Me not. But it's good to hear that they figured their stuff out and people can buy on Amazon. With free shipment, Amazon Prime, Nintendo stuff again. Good thing overall, right? Is that a good thing, though? Alex Garland's Elden Ring movie should feel like fantasy warfare. A24 has tapped the Civil War and Warfare director to adapt FromSoft's magnum opus. What are they and he thinking? Hoi haste. If you could hire any director to make an Elden Ring movie, who would you pick? You might settle for fantasy heavyweights like Peter Jackson or Guillermo del Toro, or maybe you tap Miguel Sapochnik, the man who brought you many of Game of Thrones' biggest battles, including Hard Home and Battle of the Bastards. If you're looking for something a little more avant-garde, you could even pick Robert E. Eggers' Nosferatu, I guess the new one, of course. Jorgon Latminos, Poor Things, or Bong Yoon Ho, Mickey 17. Haven't seen any of those three movies, to be honest. Filmmakers who, like Elden Ring developers FromSoft, relish in the surreal, cryptic, and uncanny. Oh, Godzilla. Chances are you wouldn't pick Alex Garland. The British writer and director is known for the grounded, slow-burning science fiction dramas Ex Machina and Annihilation, as well as the inventively named war films Civil War and Warfare, none of which resemble FromSoft's work in any notable way. And so this article goes on and on about telling us about Garland might not be the best choice, but also praising him because he actually knows a little bit about movie making, to be honest. And if you look at his list here on IMDb, he made like Devil May Cry, the definitive edition, the westernized Ninja Theory Devil May Cry version, which I personally like. Many people are not so super fond of it. It got overall great reviews, by the way, though. And I would also rate it on a easy 7, to be honest. And I played it here on my channel, by the way. He did Dread as a screenplay writer. Enslaved, a great game in my opinion. He wrote that thing. And what was it else? Yeah, of course, the 20 Days Later. And he is in the making of the 20 Years Later, which should be a trilogy. And the trailer looks great. So he has a little bit knowledge about games, at least writing for games. Those few games he written for, not doing too shabby, especially Enslaved. I like that game. I just installed it today because I was reminded of it, and I'm going to play it on this channel sooner or later. Only He-Man from the 80s matters. All the other shit is garbage. Hey, you don't diss fucking Dolph Lundgren here. Watch your mouth, boy. Nope, I'm good with my PS5, which I rarely play in now. Going to hold out for my birthday and buy a new PC in March, probably. Somebody's saving some money. So, he might do a great job with FromSoft's Elden Ring. We're gonna see. Of course, he's gonna westernize it more, like anything he has written for. Very westernized. But it's hard to do like a really good movie adaptation of games in general. It's really hard. I can't think of any good movie adaptation of any game right out of the top of my head. Even Super Mario Bros. Is like not a live action, right? It's not a real movie. It's just in the world of Super Mario World, you know. It doesn't feel like a real movie adaptation in the first place. So. But how do you feel about that? I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not an Elden Ring player. I still think the game is way too expensive. They should bring it for me at least on GOG for, I don't know, 25 bucks in a sale. So I can try it out. Other than that, I am not interested still. It looks great. Fantasy world, big fantasy world, nice bosses and all that, but I'm not a big fan of FromSoft's games in general. I played Dark Souls 3 with noobs and beers at one point, and that was pretty much it for FromSoft's games for me. I wish them success. I wish them success. I don't think I'm gonna be super interested, but it was necessary to cover a little bit about it, who is in charge of it, and what this person did so far for us. DMC Definitive Edition is a good game. It is a good game. That's what I'm saying. But many people didn't like it because it came from the Japanese market, right? A westernized version. I like both. I love Devil May Cry 4. I've bought 5, never played it so far yet. Installed it, but still haven't started the 5. But the Western version, DMC, Devil May Cry, I enjoyed it. I absolutely enjoyed it. Has nice music, fitting music, and all that. GG is best. And a PC gamepad sub and gamepad sub. What the fuck is a gamepad? Gamepads. Oh, you mean instead of gamepads, gamepads? Fuck, turn off autocorrection. So easy, Haste. But Game Pass. He means Game Pass. Don't worry. And you've gotten a good amount to play. Fuck Game Pass. Fuck Microsoft. How about that? How about fuck Microsoft? Sony seem to have removed the Helldivers 2 region lock in most countries. Players erupt in celebration with their own major order. Give them the positive reviews they have earned. You can do that. You can do that, but I wouldn't suggest doing that because they earned bad reviews in the time of why they were bad, right? You heard it here first, folks. If you left a negative review for Helldivers 2 because of the region lock situation, it seems it's time to change that review to a positive one. Remember that whole Helldivers 2 PS1 debacle from about a year ago? That ended in a decisive victory for players when Sony relented to pressure and walked back to the previously instated requirement that forced Helldivers 2 players to sign into PSN to play the game. Yeah, that was big news, and the backlash was hard enough in the face of Sony, all the backlash, and they turned that requirement off. That was a victory for players for sure. Well, before Sony reversed course, it doubled down and removed Helldivers 2 from sale in 177 countries and territories that couldn't access PSN, prompting a tidal wave of, at the time, 215,000 negative Steam reviews. That's a fucking lot, by the way. Many reviews were just review bombing people who don't have the game but wanted to show some solidarity with the other players who bought it and who couldn't play right away. And of course, they refunded because they couldn't log in and didn't want to log in a new network. Very simple. Today, more than a year later, it seems Sony has reversed course yet again and unblocked Helldivers 2 from being sold in most of those countries. So you can buy the game and you don't need PSN and PSN account to log in and to play. Good job, Sony. Good fucking job. You listen to the players for once. I will still remain. Don't change the review. Let it be there. It is like a archive of history, right? Keep it there. Point out for future generations that they see what can be achieved if you show some companies the middle finger. I think you should keep the negative review. And I don't know if you can do on Steam a second review, like a new review or an additional review. Like keep the negative review, but make like a positive review now in addition, something like that. That would be kind of cool, right? Other than that, you're just erasing, I think, pretty important and crucial information from the books, which should not be erased, right? Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm pretty right on that. Let them feel what they did wrong. We finally know when a Minecraft movie will be streaming, and it's in just a few days. I just need to include this news, because it's pretty big game. Despite I've never played it really, many people like it. Many younger people, many people with this urge for blocks for some reason. And the movie was successful despite Jack Black, and everything I saw of the movie was super lame and meh. I found zero enjoyment in any clips I saw. But younger people and maybe retarded people love this movie. After dominating the box office, fans of a Minecraft movie have very little time to wait for it to be available to stream, with news that it'll be arriving on Max by next week. There you go. The Jared Hess directed film made an impressive haul of over 951 million at the box office, with 330 million earned in its opening weekend alone. Audiences attended in droves to see Jack Black shout out, "Chicken jockey!" like retards, really. And I've seen clips of the cinemas inside where teenagers and adults who will never grow, I guess, never will mature, screamed like retards. This chicken jockey. I saw this little scene. I don't see like the appeal to it, but that's again just me. That's just me. If you liked it, go for it. Watch the movie on stream, which will be released in June 20th. Audiences attended in droves to see Jack Black shout out chicken jockey and leave in a perfect, calm, and respectful manner, making it the second most successful video game movie adaptation of all time after the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Yeah, I mean, good for them. If they don't piss off the fans of the games, that's all right. That's in my books. That's all right. Go for it. Go make another movie. Make money. If you please the fans, that is, right? It seems like nothing too controversial. Just for me, it's nothing. Just for me, it's nothing. Because the game was already nothing, so I wasn't zero interested in the movie. Let's see. Nintendo Switch 2 beats PS4 to set sales record in the US with Mario Kart World, Cyberpunk 2077, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom as its best-selling games. So we have new information, supposedly new information, because I'm going to comment to it right away. Over on Blue Sky, Circana analyst Matt Piscatella revealed that the Nintendo Switch 2 set a new all-time launch week unit sales record for video game hardware in the US, with over 1.1 million units sold during the week ending June 7, 2025. The Switch 2 came out on June 5th. To make matters even more impressive, that doesn't even include the sales made from my Nintendo Store, the loyalty program. So final numbers might even be a little higher. Yeah, they for sure are going to be higher if you don't include those numbers. I just don't find it very appealing that you point out to a Blue Sky post of all platforms. You need to point out there. Then you see this guy just posting that stuff, just a statement, but no link to his article, which is weird in my opinion. Why do you do that? Maybe he's like digged it somewhere, buried in this Blue Sky post. That's not very confident in my opinion. Not very much validating. How can I verify all those numbers in the first place? We have just to trust Matt, I guess. But yeah, nice sales numbers overall, I guess. But analysts, this analyst can anal my ass. Just, I don't know if we can trust all those numbers in the first place. That's my point. Mindless craft. I agree on that, Godzilla. Superman director James Gunn confirms Dad is dead in the DCU, but with a maybe one exception. He came from Marvel, and in the Marvel universe, nothing stays dead. You have multiverses, you have multi-dimensions, you have like infinite amount of superheroes. So nothing is going to stay dead there, which is lame. Everything is lame, has become lame of that. I already talked about this last week. So James Gunn tries to take a different approach. That can be a big inconvenience when handling a world full of Kryptonians, light up space police, and monsters put together by Victor von Frankenstein. Thankfully, Superman director and DC Studios CEO James Gunn has things under control. Always one for the interacting with fans on threads. Gunn responded to a query regarding Creature Commandos, which got the green light for a second season last year. Never watched one episode, but okay, good green light at that stuff. When asked if there was a chance of Princess Ilana Rostovich, Maria Bakalova, making a comeback even after being shot in the head by the bride, played by Indira Varma, at the end of the first season, Gunn made things crystal clear. In the DCU, if you die, you're dead, he explained. It's the way I've always done it. Yeah, kind of. He didn't show like reappearing characters in his Marvel movies, which is good, I guess. Good for him, at least. But is it going to stay like that? There's a possibility how people can come back from the dead. It was here that a fan proposed a special get out of jail free rule in the DC universe that could bring characters back from the brink, the Lazarus Pit. Introduced in the Batman comics in 1972, the Lazarus Pit is a supernatural pool that Ra's al Ghul often uses to bring people back from the dead. Batman, Wonder Woman, and even the Joker are among the few that have used the pits when in pretty bad condition. Factoring this in, Gunn did hint that he'd consider some of his characters taking a dip, but only if it was relative to the story being told. Well, I wouldn't mind using the Lazarus Pit and or resurrection in a story, Gunn confessed. But it would have to be a part of the story itself. I won't be killing major characters just to pop them in the old Lazarus Pit to be alive again. What backfires more is people believing there are no stakes and death doesn't mean anything. Dead is dead. That's a great statement, in my opinion. You need to think about your characters way more when you write about them. Um, are you want to do you want to kill them off mainly? Do you want to kill them off? And according to James Gunn, they might stay for dead for good and never come back. I don't know if he can hold his position on that because it might get like successful, the Superman movie. This universe might get bigger, more character appearing, and important character might get killed off and people be super upset, meaning the viewer, the theater visitors, you know. As a customer, I might have like a voice, you know. We gotta wait and see how that's gonna play out. But overall, I like the statement. That is that. Would you like that too to be the case? That is that. I think that's a good statement. The next one should stay dead from the very beginning already. Masters of the Universe, He-Man Nicholas Galitzine strikes the hero pose in all new first look. So we got a little first picture of this new He-Man here. Nicholas Galitzine has taken to Instagram to prove he has the power by way of our first official look at his take on He-Man in the brand new Masters of the Universe movie. The film is being helmed by director Travis Knight, who at this point is used to making movies about smashing action figures together after making the best live-action Transformers movie, Bumblebee, as well as the stop-motion animated classic Kubo and the Two Strings, which is one of the greats from the 2010s. I don't know about that statement. I like Kubo. I watched Kubo a few times. It's a wholesome movie about a boy wanting to be a little samurai and pretty much kind of avenging his parents, sort of. Um, has like this stop motion animation style. I like it a lot. Bumblebee, on the other hand, like the best live action Transformers movie. Bumblebee, really? Who has seen Bumblebee here? I've seen it. I don't remember jack shit from it. That's how good it was, in my opinion. I don't remember jack shit of it. Have you seen it? Was it likable? Was it the best Transformers live action movie? I don't go along with that statement. Oh, Eden. No plans to. Well, good for you. Not bad for you. Maybe you missed out on the best live action Transformers movie. Ouch, my junk. Your loss. Your loss. The new shot from Galazine revealed himself in a shadow, but the iconic He-Man garb, which isn't a lot, is still visible. The most notable detail is, of course, the power sword, which the idea of U-Star will undoubtedly point to the sky at some point while yelling about the power he has. I've got the power! Well, that's a wrap on Masters of the Universe, wrote Galazine. It has been an honor shouldering the responsibility of playing Adam and He-Man. It's been the role of a lifetime, and I put everything into it. There's not much I can show you, but I'm proud. I'm so proud of the movie we've made. Thanks to our amazing cast and crew for all your hard work. Yeah, thanks. I don't know about that. We have similar statements by Henry Cavill about The Witcher. Similar in the sense of a role of a lifetime, right? Finally playing Geralt myself, that's a big honor and all that. This one picture, I will admit, doesn't look too bad actually. Like the hairstyle, like this almost faggotry He-Man hairstyle, right? He has some muscle, he has like okay shoulders for that role, right? He has some legs. He could have more, for of course. The sword looks very accurate, right? They didn't fuck that up, it seems. And we see the Garn thing here. Doesn't look too shabby, I'm just saying. But what is gonna look shabby is probably like the rest of the crew. In the sense of, really? The cast, the He-Man to be is referring to is undoubtedly an interesting one. I don't know if you can word it like that. Idris Alba is starring as Man at Arms. Yeah, and I made like this thumbnail. So this guy, if you never watched He-Man or had no action figures, a very, very white dude. It was not important, his skin, as far as I remember from the cartoon. But why? The question remains, why? To me, it feels it all already dead on arrival if you do such changes without any need. Without any need. And I don't mind Idris Alba in movies. He's the okay actor. And despite his stupid statements about pointing knives, we have to ban pointing knives, you know? We have to eradicate and forbid pointy knives. People are killing each other with pointy knives. He has done a lot of bad, stupid, retarded statements in the past 2 years or so. He's a good actor still, but his political stance, fuck off in general. But yes, why did we need it, that change from this very white guy to this very black guy? I don't see the need, but seems they see a need for that. Camila Mendes as He-Man's kinda sort of love interest Tila, which was also very white, but she's gonna be Latina now. She looks okay, but again, why? She has slightly brownish skin because Latina, right? And Jared Leto is taking the cackling, bony bad guy Skeletor. That's also a really, I think, a really, really bad decision. I don't think Jared Leto really is up to bad guys. He has his baby face in general and his baby character feeling. I don't like that. He's good in some roles, but if you remember Jared Leto in the Suicide Squad, horrible. Fuck me, big time in the ass about that shit. Holy crap! It was a cringe fucking fest, man, with him as the Joker there. It was really, really a bad pick. I think the Suicide Squad would have been 10 times better taking any other. Take Pedro Pascal as the bad Joker, man. Jared Leto was just cringeworthy. Holy shit. And he tried to do method acting and all that crap, right? Because he looked forward to the Joker role and trying to be like super, super edgy and all that shit too. But he went, I can't describe it well enough. It was really a bad choice. And I think it's going to be a bad choice in this too. He's going to make this cackling, laughing of Skeletor. He's going to make it a cringe fest. I'm sure about that. Jared Leto's soy vegan. Can be. He can be vegan as long as he does fucking good roles. But he seems to be a meh actor. Morbius, another fucking flop with Jared Leto. Why? Why? I mean, I kind of know why. He is in Hollywood like a big deal about spirit cooking and all that shit. That's a different story, though. For another time. Maybe. Horrible joke, yes. No voices here, sorry. Not on this show. It's a different profile in OBS, and I'm going to keep it this way. I will play Latina with big booty energy. Yeah. I don't mind Latina booties. I just want fitting characters to the roles, fitting actors. 30 Seconds to Mars was good for a bit. Haven't seen that though. Marina Baccarin will also be appearing as the sorceress who protects Castle Grayskull from Skeletor's stupidly named accomplices that are regularly trying to get inside, which include the likes of Hafthor, Julius Björnsson, aka Game of Thrones, the Mountain. That is this big ass Icelandic dude as Goatman and Alison Brie as Evil Lynn. I mean, he actually fits. Big ass dude, right? For this brainless enemy. Masters of the Universe is the first project with an official look to come tumbling out of the toy box Amazon MGM Studios recently got hold of. Not only will they be bringing the franchises to life after the 1987 version starring Dolph Lundgren, Godzilla, watch your mouth, but they've also got the new Voltron movie housing the talents of Henry Cavill, Sterling K. Brown, and Rita Ora. Besides helping those robots come together to form one giant super robot, Cavill will also prove that he has a kind of magic in the Chad Stahelski directed Highlander remake. I don't know about this dude for that, but it might be all right for Highlander, which is planned to start shooting this year. In conclusion, it's cool to be an 80s kid again. Well, that's what we're telling ourselves, at least. That statement at the very end is very fucking right. At least that's what we are telling us, each other, I guess. I mean, He-Man was a 70s comic and an action figures thing and cartoon mainly. High quality back then for sure, but I don't know about Idris Elba and especially Jared Leto. For me, this movie is already dead on arrival. Another Amazon failure. Who knows how much money they put in it? It seems like they finished filming, according to Galazine himself. I'm not looking forward to it. I just found it important to show you that who is going to play the man at arms, which was the sidekick pretty much of He-Man. This guy who has the shooties in battles, and who comes with his flying scooter rescuing sometimes people. Other than that, I'm not looking forward to this one, not at all. Kevin Smith is a faggot. That needs to sit on a sandpaper cactus. Who said something about Kevin Smith? Fuck Kevin Smith. But yes, I agree. Masters of the Universe. Am I not allowed to say faggot all of a sudden? No, I saw it. Did you thought it was not visible on in the chat? No, faggot is still allowed on Rumble. I don't know about YouTube. Go test it out on YouTube. Channel YouTube, Switzerland Play It. Follow. Make it bigger there too. Speaking of following and make it bigger, leave a like if you want, if you can, if you like. Leave a dislike if you dislike, really. If you're a disliker in general, go for it. Follow the channel, spread it out. The news has to come around about the tagging the Angry Game News every day, 10 a.m. Monday through Friday with me and the chat. Yeah, who is looking forward to this movie? For me, it's like I said, dead on arrival. Up to better news, at least for Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade's huge PC launch rakes in 1 million sales in just 3 days, taking the action RPG across the 3 million sales mark as its Steam player peak continues to reach new heights. Stellar Blade's PC launch has been extremely successful, with 1 million copies sold on PC in just 3 days, boosting the overall sales of the game to 3 million across PS5 and PC. They should release it just try to apply on Xbox Game Pass. That would be funny, kinda. Stellar Blade launched on PC last week and near instantly became the most popular release from PlayStation Studios on Steam when it comes to single-player titles. The game also has an extremely active modding community and was high in the Steam top seller list before it even released. So it's not exactly surprising to hear it's done incredibly well on PC. Yeah, I would call that extremely well. If you have it now overall on 3 million sales, including the PS5, that's like a 50%, 33% of the whole thing, 33% of all the sales in the first week. Yeah, I would like to play it, but it's a little bit too expensive for my taste. I'm going to be honest. But if you want booty and titties, go for it. Well, where the fuck was I? Korean outlet Ruliweb has now reported, translated with AI, blah, 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 that shifts up Souls-like. Souls-light? Doesn't know if it's Souls-light. Sold over 1 million copies on PC within the first 3 days, which has pushed the game past 3 million copies sold across both platforms. Industry analyst Daniel Ahmad responded to Genki and noted that the majority of the Stellar Blade's PC success likely came from players in China. He notes that the PC version comes with a Chinese dub, which wasn't present in the PS5 version at the launch. And that due to regional pricing, the game comes out at around $38 US opposed to $60 in the US. The studio has also confirmed that it's aiming to get Stellar Blade 2 out before 2027. Now they got a nice boost, financial boost with those sales on Steam. So yeah, Stellar Blade will come out before 2027. So it seems like many copies being sold in China, and the Chinese like busty girls, in games. They are all for that. They don't like this tiny titties games, really. So that's a good thing, I guess. I'm finally playing Stellar Blade on PS5. It's fun. It looks fun. I'm not saying it doesn't look fun, but it doesn't look for me like 65 US dollars, which is converted Swiss francs, 60 Swiss francs. It's more US dollars. It's not 65 plus US dollars from your worth. I could get it for around 55 on CD key sellers sites, but it's still too expensive for my taste. And I don't know if I'm that thirsty for ass and tits in video games to pay that amount of money. Oi, Hiljack. I pre-ordered on PS5 to support the dev. Yeah, and the dev, I reported that too. He said like, I'm all for modding. I'm absolutely for modding. Go mod my game even more and all that. So he is supporting his own player base in general, which is a good thing. Which is a fucking good thing. What is not such a good thing? I think. Not going to go too deep into this. Actually, not that deep at all, because I'm not looking forward to it, and I don't know anybody who really was super excited when it got announced the first time ever. What was it? 3 years ago? I don't remember. That doesn't matter. Borderlands 4 video shows how Vault Hunters are made. Yeah. I just want you to show this one picture. I watched the video. It's informative. Other than that, I haven't played Borderlands 3 through. It was boring. It was boring lands, not Borderlands. And seeing like this lady here talking in it, and seeing her position in the company. Yeah, I'm already out, man. I'm fucking already out. Especially her position tells me everything I personally need to know. Lynn Joyce, Managing Director of Narrative. Why the fuck do companies need such a position? Managing Director. Not even director, it's Managing Director of Narrative. So she has an oversight kind of where something has to go or how it should be told and all that shit. And seeing her with this ugly ass glasses, her greenish hair, the nose ring, and how she talks in it like she knows about badassery. The word badass is mentioned a lot in this 4-minute plus video. Yeah. Originally, Borderlands 4 looks fine, but that is not super surprising because the previous games were like visually always meh. It was more about the fun of shooting itself, the fun of different weapons, very weird weapons, kind of, and you can mix weapons kind of together, what they should do, heal yourself or do more poison damage and all that. It is fun, right? It is a fun RPG first-person shooter. The first one, the second one, the pre-sequel I actually liked a lot. Borderlands 3, fuck off. I didn't care after, like, I think half of the game I play or so. And yeah, seeing that shit now. Lynn Joyce talking about badassery and being managing director of narrative. You lost me there. Gearbox, you fucking lost me there. Fuck off. How about that? Non-binary green-haired freak show. Yeah. Attactive, not attactive at all. The narrative should be making money. They didn't talk about money here in this one. Not about business at all. They talk just about the characters, how they concluded what badass means, pretty much. That's the link is down below. All the links for my talking points down below, all the articles. Go watch the video for yourself. Do it on 1.5 speed. You get the information you need, I think. Yeah. Fuck the rest of them. I'm not interested. If I'm gonna get it for $10 on GOG, sure. Other than that, fuck off. I'm not interested. Why are you showing me such people? On the other hand, I guess you're honest. At least you show me what your team is including as a leading positions. Fuck off. Fuck off. Meat I meat for. Bagassery. Quit fighting the narrative, Ike. Join us in the woke brain food feast. No. Thank you. I'm good. I'm good without that crap. Bad news for PlayStation, Sony Plus members. Maybe, maybe not. It's a mixed message news here. Sony will continue to add more value to PS Plus, says company president, but it may come with price changes too. Yeah, and usually price changes upwards, you know. How can you have more value if you also increase the price? You don't have more value. You have the actually probably the same fucking value. But they try to make it sound more appealing to us. Sony president Hideaki Nishino has stated the company is open to adjust the price of PlayStation Plus in the future as the company aims to maximize profitability. The comments come as part of a discussion between Sony CEO Herman Hulst and President Hideaki Nishino on PS Plus and the company's future. Discussing Sony's subscription service, Nishino stated, "We will continue to add more value and adjust our price strategy in a dynamic way to maximize profitability." Yeah, I don't think that works for the players themselves, but sure. This statement, while not an indication that prices increases necessarily on the card, is essentially stating Sony will ensure the service will prioritize profitability going forward. Of course, if they mentioned profitability, they mention their money income. There's no other fucking logical way out of this whole thing. So you're assuming wrong if they are gonna decrease the money price of the subscription. You would be really retarded. Indeed, it's a statement Sony has been aligned with for some time. Given the spread of price increases PS Plus has received over the years. There was a European price hike back in 2017, and recently, as 2023, PS Plus saw a global price increase, which Sony justified by stating it could continue bringing high-quality games and value-added benefits to your PS Plus subscription service as a result. In the accompanying presentation, Hideaki noted some key shifts in PS Plus profitability over the recent years. In 2024, 22% of PS Plus subscribers were paying for the most expensive PS Plus Premium, compared to 17% back in 2022. PS Plus Extra, the next in terms of price per month, also saw an increase in subscribers, rising to 16% of subscribers compared to with 13% back in 2022. In addition, in 2024, PS Plus made up 14% of total PlayStation revenue, in an increase of only 1% from 2022. Yeah, I mean, that tells me just more people in general are using their services, not that more people are going to the higher tier, really. But I guess since a few are already on subscribers based and are using it quite well and quite extensively, they might go to the highest tier to get more out of it, if you're using it already anyway. Free-to-play games don't need PS Plus. True. More like free to get your ass kicked if you don't pay microtransaction. I mean, I had my PS4, not the Pro, in 2020-ish with a 1-year subscription of PS Plus. Back then, it was well priced, in my opinion, and I had some use for it. I made some use out of that little money I paid for it, and I didn't pay like the full price. I got it on different routes, the subscription, a little bit cheaper. And I got in touch with some great games. For example, Days Gone was one of the games I got in touch with, and I loved it. Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man game on PS4, I loved it, and I was only able to play that one. I didn't bought it. I played it with my subscription, and it was worth it overall, just because of a few games. The streaming PS3 game streaming, though, the PlayStation streaming thing, horrible, really bad. Didn't like that at all. Bad performance, too big of legs, and all that, you know. But yes, here you have it. They are talking about how great their PS Plus is, and we might increase it just to give you more for it. That's pretty much the gist out of it. You're gonna get more of it if you pay more. No shit, Sherlock. Crossplay ruined console multiplayer. I heard the Game Pass is much better. PC hexers, aimbots, etc. Yeah. That's why I don't play a lot of multiplayer games, especially not with randoms and strangers. Because if you play with your friends, for example, there's still the Unreal Tournament server just running. If you check out the Discord, there's a pinned message. You can get all the resources. The Unreal server is still running, the old school Unreal Tournament 99. And if you play with your friends, you still at least can say to them in their face, more or less, "Fuck you, you fucking cheater, cocksucker bitch." Who is cheating in Unreal Tournament? Why are you being so lame? I just had a price increase for PS Plus. How about some really great news? Megalomaniac news, pretty much. You're gonna see why. Ironheart will go to uncomfortable places for viewers, almost in the vein of Walter White or Tony Soprano. Sure. Almost 3 years after she was introduced in the MCU in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Riri Williams is set to return to our screens in Disney Plus series Ironheart. The MIT student and inventor prodigy takes center stage in the new show, and it sounds like we're going to delve pretty deep into her psyche. In a way that executive producer Zeph Ohanian, fucking name, sorry I'm butchering your names, but fuck your name, compares to some TV's greatest anti-heroes. Riri is brilliant, yet flawed, and finds herself going down a path that I'm not sure we've quite seen in the MCU. Ohanian says in the new issue of SFX magazine, which features Star Trek Strange New Worlds on the cover of its hits and hits newsstands on Wednesday, then June 18th. I don't know if that's a standard in general, you know, having like such a magazine who features that on the cover. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Fuck that show. It looks horrible. Yeah, but whatever. That's not a fucking like standard in general. We need to have a Unreal Tournament night. Yeah. The thing is, when I organize stuff like that, haste. I organized Mario Kart back on Rumble here a few times. I don't like people being unreliable, and it pisses me off a lot, and pisses off other people who try to be reliable, who sign on stuff, you know. If I organize that stuff, it demotivates me a lot, and I am just not in the mood to organize that stuff. if anybody else wants to organize that stuff, I have the server running the whole time, and I would love to join an Unreal night, but somebody else needs to be like on the looks who wants to join and all that, right? Who wants to play it? I think we can play 16 people is I think the maximum on in Unreal tournament, if I'm not mistaken. But somebody else needs to organize, really. I don't like to organize and then people just pissing off and not replying anymore and don't pay attention to anything I do. So why should I take my time and invest my motivation and getting it destroyed? My 5 cents. I'm giving you more than 2. She kind of breaks bad in the show, and we got to some uncomfortable places for audiences that I think will be really fun to explore, almost in the vein of Walter White from Breaking Bad or Tony Soprano. Wow. That's a high fucking stake you're putting out there, man. You think that highly of your characters in this show that nobody's waiting for, besides some critics who wants to tear it apart and make fun of it? Really? You're comparing it to Breaking Bad, the character of Walter White. I never seen The Sopranos though, and Tony Soprano. You're comparing it to a few of the best TV shows out there ever produced. And you can think about Bryan Cranston, whatever you want. He plays Walter White like nobody else could probably do it. And it's a great character. You compare Riri Williams' Disney Plus show in Ironheart with Walter White character. Really. I mean, you made, I guess, headlines. You made headlines, I guess, but you're out of your fucking mind if you think like you can compare those. There's no fucking way. Set after events of 2022's Black Panther sequel, the show will see Riri return home to Chicago and cross paths with Parker Robbins, aka The Hood, played by Anthony Ramos, who introduced her to dark arts and magic, clashing with her own talent for manipulating technology. Riri finds herself on a path of danger and adventure. Blah, blah. It will come out next week. Next week, tomorrow in a week, to be more precise, tomorrow in a week, it's going to be released on, not in full, but I think 3 first or 4 first episodes of 6. I think it's going to be a very short show in general. And nobody cares, really, but I just found it interesting that somebody has the balls to state that shit here. Are you going to watch it? Do you have even Disney Plus? Who the fuck has Disney Plus here? Who has Disney Plus? Tell me. I don't. And I don't want it, especially after that shit. Ah, that's so weird what people think. Okay, let's go through the last 2 little pieces I have here. The Witcher 4 CD Projekt is taking a console-first development approach with good reason. So if you remember, CD Projekt Red has made like bad decisions in the past, and they now have pointed out, yeah, we are going to take a different approach because of reasons. The reasons are, we always do PC, we push and we try to scale down, he said. But then we had so many problems in the past that we tried to say, this time around, we really want to be more console first development. That was Charles Tembley, VP of Technology at CD Projekt Red. That mention of having problems in the past is a nod to the disastrous launch of 2022's Cyberpunk 2077, which ran so poorly on consoles on release that Sony ended up pulling it from the PlayStation Store and offered refunds. Amid the furore, CD Projekt apologizes to customers for not showing the game on base last-gen consoles ahead of launch, admitting we should have paid more attention to making it play better on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It was released back then on PlayStation 4, not the Pro. It was even pretty old right now already. And those consoles were already outdated, pretty much though. They should never have released on those two consoles in the first place. Because PlayStation 4 had the PlayStation 4 Pro at that point on the market. Xbox One had Xbox S and X. The X was like the more beefier, a little bit 4K capable, beefier CPU, beefier GPU console, similar to the PlayStation 4 Pro. They should never have released it, but you can't separate if you release it on the Pro and on the X, right? But yeah, they have learned. They talk in this video a lot about that, how they are managing it in on the now generation consoles, PlayStation 5, not the Pro 5, and showing it how well it runs and all that, and telling us from this point on, it's easier to scale up everything in the game instead of doing it on PC first and then scaling it down. That should be less easier. I don't know about that, to be honest. That sounds to me more like, yeah, you can't do that as well because you're not as talented in coding and designing a game. I don't know. But it shouldn't be an issue if you make like a whole system, an ecosystem of games, and to scale it down. Shouldn't be an issue. The approach will help them, though. I'm pretty sure it's going to sell better this time overall. If you're still into CD Projekt Red games, that is. I'm not going to buy it on launch, that's for sure. The Witcher 4. Because they disappointed me in the past, and they listened though to fans. Obviously, the first trailer they showed Siri was ugly as fuck compared to the regular Siri, and they fixed her face. So they are listening to fans a little bit. Story-wise, how much DEI, how much fucking woke shit we will get in this game, who knows? We're gonna see. The Bitchner, the wild cunt. No, that's not the official name, Godzilla. Shouldn't it be just called the witch? No, because in the whole lore, the Witcher were always just boys. But she has these powers. She's just the chosen one, or the born one, pretty much. She didn't choose their power to get, but she learned with the last remaining Witcher, the like the abilities, the fighting style, and the little spells of a Witcher. That's why it's still called The Witcher, I guess. But yeah, might make more sense if you just call it The Witch. I don't know. I will never play 4. I will pretend it does not exist. Well, you can't pretend anymore. You know it will exist. Last little news. Nintendo announced Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct for this week. Yeah, this week, June 18th, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. If you're into Nintendo games, you should watch this one, probably. Donkey Kong Bonanza will be shown a little bit deeper. Just a little side information. I watched this video here. They already have a sneak peek of the game. They have a version of it already. Visually unimpressive. Absolutely unimpressive. Go watch the video for yourself. It looks like a higher resolution Nintendo's Wii U game, to be honest. It might be gameplay wise nice, but even gameplay wise, it doesn't look like something special. I am absolutely zero impressed with the visuals of Donkey Kong Bonanza. Same goes, by the way, for Mario Kart World. It seems like they are not utilizing the power of the Switch 2, which has some power, by the way. It is can do some performative tasks, to be honest. Might be because they want to run it better than to run it more beautiful, more prettier. That's just my assumption, but I'm super unimpressed by the launch of everything. Big sale is Cyberpunk 2077 for sure. They told us already in the other Blue Sky news here. Big sale on the second place here of the games. And I'm not super surprised that it can run that, because we have like roughly performance wise at RTX 2070 ish with the abilities of today's ray tracing and all that and upscaling technology wise. So you should be able to do quite some stuff, man. It has some AI capabilities, upscalers. Utilize those, Nintendo. What I saw in this video, look down below the article link. Check out the video. It looks really not impressive. I don't know who will spend 70, 80 bucks for this game, but man, we have enough Nintendo fans, I guess. They're gonna make money on it. If it's gameplay wise fun for people, go for it. But I need if you're selling me a new console with a big price hike, I want also to see some improvement in visuals. That's just me though. Well, that was the news for today. Not a lot was going on this weekend, like I said, but I try to cover as much as possible and the most interesting pieces I see and bring it to you. Every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, here on Switzerland Play It, on Rumble and YouTube. As soon as I will be able to do it better on Twitch, I'm going to multi-stream again on Twitch. Otherwise, for now, you're not going to see anything there because too high of bitrate. That said, follow, like, upvote, give me your money, whatever you want to do. I appreciate anything of that. Even that dislikes shows me what you think about this show. Leave a comment and tell me what should I do absolutely improve or what should I not do anymore at all and all that stuff. I thank you for being around, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. Till tomorrow, 10 a.m. here on Switzerland Play It. Bye-bye.